Governor, a couple of weeks back, you said that people of color, perhaps, maybe all things being equal, may not want to vote because they're scared. What do you mean by that? What people of color are afraid of?
I don't know about that, but I will tell you that I think...
Well, that's your quote.
If I can finish, please.
Yes, sir.
I think there is some fear out there right now. I think of the fact that the Trump administration is asking to see our voter rolls. The fact that ICE may be hanging around some of the voting areas is giving people some pause.
What people would be afraid to go to the polls if ICE is there?
I think people that feel like ICE may be targeting folks like them. That's what I...
Based upon the color of their skin is what you're saying?
Potentially.
The evidence of that is what?
Pardon?
The evidence of that is what? You're saying that people might be scared. That was your assessment, that people of color might be afraid, and you wish them not to be afraid.
For example, I'm doing everything I can to encourage Hispanic kids to stay in school and come back to school. Okay. I think there's some natural fear, perhaps, that ICE may be around. It's not a big fear, but it's out there. Look what happened to that young man at Cheshire High School just last month. Those are the ways I'm trying to give people confidence. I want you to vote. I want you to know you can vote safely. We have early voting, no excuse, absentee balloting now. Don't let people scare you. Make sure you exercise your right to vote.
Do you think that there should have been some specificity? Because when you say people of color, you're talking about black people as well. So the question is, would black people be afraid when you say people of color, or were you trying to sort of work around the edges when you really meant Hispanics?
I think you're overrating. I think there are a lot of people...
I understand the definition of people of color, as do you. So people of color...
I think there are a lot of people who feel like they're at risk in this administration right now. I mentioned Hispanic people. There's a lot of noise about DEI and mocking people of color. I care about that. I think some people take that to heart and feel that this is not necessarily an administration that's looking out for them. I'm just trying to say, here in Connecticut, we care about you. We're looking out for you. You can go to school safely. You can vote safely. And you go to the courthouse safely. That's what we're trying to do.
Thank you, Governor.
Anyway, guys, what do you think of this? Meanwhile, Lynn, good to see you in the chat. So today, have I got another treat for you? Okay, so we have the Hickoxes in the house again. So we decided to sneak one up on you. All right, so yeah, as always, we open up with one of these crazy videos that, makes us wonder why Democrats vote for these guys. And today we're going to be looking again at this situation in Spain. We have cultural enrichment in your bedroom. Just wait till you watch this.
I don't know that that's where I want my cultural enrichment.
Wait, hey. You didn't watch the live stream we did a couple of months back where we followed the report about over a quarter of a million British girls being culturally enriched by the Pakistanis. And the reason why we use that is because when one of the parents, the father of one of the girls who was being culturally enriched, reported the crime to the police and said he needed to get his daughter back, the police told him that he should be proud and feel privileged that his daughter is experiencing cultural enrichment from another culture. That's what they literally told him.
Yeah, see, down here in the South and in America, we have another form of enrichment that we have for people like that. And it's usually very fast moving. It identifies as a hole punch.
Look, we're just trying to be very careful, okay? YouTube has been naughty, and that's why we're just using all these phrases, but I know you guys are smart, okay? We're not going to try to chew your food for you. We're going to just, give it to you and and hope that you are following along. So first off, we're going to watch this.
Hold on, I actually have one thing to add to that. It kind of, it actually rolls into what we're going to be speaking on later, especially with some people in power that are screaming about one thing, but they married the same thing.
Oh yeah. We're going to be talking about all of the women, essentially. Well, like, you guys, just say what we're going to talk about, because it's yeah.
Well, I didn't want to ruin the surprise. This is a topic my wife wanted to bring up. So
no, they have to know what they're looking forward to. So let's just let them know.
So we were talking about women in power and how they give basically all women bad names because
Yep.
they're failing dramatically and just basically feeding into the stereotypes of women can't lead, they can't, you know, do anything that requires anything further than emotions. So yeah, we're kind of going to be talking about all of these poor, desperate, pathetic examples of women in power that we have currently, and also bringing in some information about, like, women that do actually succeed, that can do it. They're just unfortunately publicizing all of the crap ones.
All right, awesome. So let's get right into it so we don't bore you with the preambles. So this story is weird, okay? This is coming from Ceuta, Spain, and this is the testimony of Beatriz Ferron. And she's a resident of Ceuta who describes on television how a Moroccan boy entered her home, got into her own bed without clothes. Let's have a listen. Now, we're going to do something, okay, just for the YouTube algorithm to leave our channel alone and not give us trouble. We're going to play a few seconds of this because the interview is in Spanish. Then I literally did the entire transcript and did a subtitle, but I also did an AI translation. Yeah, voiceover. So we're going to play this so that we can leave it on the record that this is an AI version or AI translation of this interview, so that the algorithm or the AI on YouTube doesn't take down the live stream, because I've seen it happen before. So I don't want it to happen. So YouTube gods, this is the original interview, and then we're going to play the translation that was the AI overdub. So here's the actual interview.
Entró en un quinto, ¿eh? Sí. Ha saltado por el balcón de mi dormitorio, se ha metido en mi dormitorio y se ha metido en mi cama. Yo me he creído que era mi marido. Y
All right, so that's enough of that. Now we're going to play the actual interview. Sorry, sorry, not the actual interview, the AI overdub. And this is really good. Like, it matches the movement of the lips with the words. So let's play this, and you guys will follow.
Because he came in over the balcony. I live downtown on the 5th floor, yes. He climbed in through my bedroom balcony, got into my room, and then got into my bed. I thought it was my husband, and when I turned round, there was a stranger in his underwear in my bed. I can't believe it. When I screamed...
Sorry, the portal does this occasionally. Sorry.
My husband came running. He'd been having breakfast before work, and my son was there too, thank God. I wasn't alone, and I haven't seen him come in. My back was to the balcony he came in through, and he went out the very same way. I want to thank the National Police. They got here quickly, managed to arrest him, and tomorrow there's a fast-track hearing. But the terror of it. Someone comes into your home, into your bedroom, into your bed, in his underwear. I didn't ask what he wanted.
But no, come on. No, honestly, no. I mean, come on.
So that is the AI translation, because it's 4 minutes, but you guys, let me know in the chat, okay, if this is the kind of cultural enrichment that you expect from people who say that they're coming to the country for work. All right, so this is the story, guys. What do you think? Okay, guys who are watching, let's know what you think in the chat. Tracy, let's start with you.
Oh, I was going to say, let me give them more of a backstory, because I actually got to watch it whenever he was doing the subtitles.
Yeah.
So what actually happened was it was early morning, around 7:45, right?
Yeah, 7:45.
7:45 in the morning. This lady here was laying in her bed. Her husband and her son were up and getting breakfast in the kitchen. She felt somebody get into bed. She thought it was her husband. Well, whenever she rolled over, it was a migrant in his underwear that climbed up into her room and had climbed in under the covers with her. She started to scream for her husband. The reporter actually asked her, well, was he being violent? And she says, I didn't give him no time. I started screaming. And he
But
hopped out of the window and the police finally arrested him. So there you
like
go.
my thing is why do you even have to ask if he's being violent? This is an intruder in my home. So first of all, that already puts him on, like, that's strike one right there. He's in his underwear. There's strike two. And strike three, he's in my bed with me. I don't care if he's being violent. He could have been the biggest teddy bear in the world. You broke into my home practically naked and got into bed with me. I think that's enough offenses right there. I don't care if he's being violent.
Well, it's a thing that's going on in Europe with the suicidal empathy. Like, until the person literally causes someone to pass away, we're still being YouTube friendly, causes someone to shuffle off this mortal coil, they aren't seen as dangerous. And then even when they do that, someone
they can
somewhere
claim it was Islamophobic or they were racist or something like that. So that's why I had to stab him, and then the cops arrested him and let him bleed out. That's a different story, but legitimately happened.
Oh, we covered that. We covered that when it happened, and man, I lost my mind while I was covering the story. I was literally screaming. As
somebody that works in emergency medicine, works with like paramedic stuff, my job is, I don't care who or what you were or what you were doing. You could be the biggest racist in the world. I have treated many racists. Okay, I don't care. My job is to prolong your life if at all possible.
Yeah.
And police officers and stuff like that are taught the same thing. But in all these countries where they're going to that suicidal empathy and everything like that, they're literally just bypassing all of that and letting people bleed out and die because, they don't want to be labeled racist or Islamophobic or anything like that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Right, we've put the call-in link in the chat. I just remember that we want to see if anyone wants to call in and just talk about this. Okay, be polite, and stay on topic. So we're just trying this out and to see who else would want to jump in to actually talk, because a few of us don't like typing. Some of us might want to call and actually have a conversation, and that would be great. So just wanted to put that out there. So. The story of Ceuta, for those of you who don't remember or who don't know what's been going on, a bunch of migrants broke into the country. And I'm just going to drop the volume here. So a bunch of migrants broke into the country and have essentially, or they overwhelmed the city, broke into homes, broke into stores, started looting. The next day, the Prime Minister of Spain claimed that most of the migrants, or all the migrants, had gone back to Morocco and everything was back to normal. And then a few days later, we're hearing stories like the one we just heard. And there are reports that there's been lots of assaults happening in the camp of the migrants. They have girls who made the crossing, and they are receiving cultural reinforcement in the camps. It's not funny, but it is weird that the left continues to try to normalize savagery. They want us to believe that this is civilized behavior.
That they're just poor, downtrodden people, trying to flee from their horrible countries and things like that. You're like, why are you just bringing all of the issues with you? If you're really trying to escape it, why are you bringing it all with you?
All right. Now we're going to do a quick segue, because this is where I'm going to let you loose, Tracy. I'm going to let you loose on this, because we talked about this a few days back, and we're just going to kind of stoke this fire again. remember the story of this woman, okay? This woman who I don't know, fell in love with an Afghan refugee and then wanted to help them out, got them into the country, and then her phone suddenly goes dead, and next thing, her body is found inside of a suitcase. All right. This is the guy, according to this report, this is the guy who culturally enriched her body into a suitcase. Breaking, Red Cross deletes a video after migrant murders British woman. The Red Cross made a sympathetic cartoon video showing the journey of Sharif, an Afghan traveling to Europe. When Sharif got there, he murdered a British woman and stuffed her body into a suitcase. They wanted you to feel sorry for him, but he killed a young woman like the savage that he is. The Red Cross must be held to account for the blood they have on their hands. So this is the video, all right? This is the nice video trying to tell us how we should all be compassionate and let people like him into the country.
He tried to travel to Greece, but the police arrested him and put him in jail for 3 days.
When I got out, I found smugglers who created another game for me to go to Greece. Finally, I made it.
Sharif has now been at a camp in Lesbos for 6 months.
Living in the camp is so hard. Sometimes when I think about living here, I get so crazy. I try to find somewhere calm, and then I cry a lot. I have an aunt in the United Kingdom, and she told me, I can take full responsibility of you if someone helps you to get to the UK, but if I can't get there, I don't know what will happen to me.
Oh, yeah. So the Red Cross got rid of that video.
I could see why. Real quick, fast, and in a hurry. Maybe Greece had the right idea to arrest him in the first place.
Yeah. We was just talking about the Red Cross day before yesterday.
Yeah, they were the ones who were handing out food in the middle of Ceuta instead of standing at the border, telling them, "Hey, here's a lunch pack," and that's the gate.
Yeah. Well, we consider that as a pack out. Like, here's a pack out. Go back home.
Yeah.
Pack out. Go home. Pack out. That would have been easy, but yeah.
No. Look at this. Red Cross providing migrants with maps and resources to travel to U.S. border.
Yeah, and they're helping them get there.
Yeah, that's old. That was actually, I've seen that back in 2020.
Oh, no. This is old. It's just telling us that the Red Cross has been at this for a while.
Oh, yeah. Of course. They're getting paid.
Oh, yeah. It's some of the biggest cases of, like, that they're pushing that suicidal empathy, that we're supposed to feel bad for all these poor little migrants and stuff, and they can't do anything, yet they can walk hundreds of thousands of miles across several different countries. And if their country was so bad, they've passed through some that weren't even all that bad. Why are they not staying there? Why do they have to go to those ones specifically? Because that's where the suicidal empathy is being pressed the hardest. The places like the UK and the United States, where we have all those sanctuary locations.
Well, it's also to add in that Red Cross, actually any organization that any government utilizes, especially here in the United States, right? So you've got Red Cross doing that exactly. Believe it or not, our FEMA, our Federal Emergency, management agency, a good chunk of the money that was set aside for them for natural disasters for people in the United States was actually paid out to the to support the migrants.
Yep.
And I don't even call them migrants. Those are illegal immigrants. Those are illegals. Okay.
Yeah, I call them invaders, but
yeah, they're invaders. Okay. A migrant is somebody that's coming over on a legal work visa, or that are, they're immigrants, migrants. Those people are doing it the right way. The other
Yeah.
way, the ones that we're being, told that we have to be empathetic towards and support and everything like that, those are illegal invaders. Those are, predators that we're letting into these countries.
Now, I'm trying to find a segue into our other story. And I think we should just rip the band-aid off, okay?
I
And
was
say,
actually
look,
gonna suggest, because of what it's going into,
yeah.
get a re-up on the police chief that got her was driving her son, because she was
Oh,
a woman in a position of power, and
yeah.
Failing miserably.
Well, to
absolutely.
start, this woman kind of was in a position of power and failed miserably. She
She
failed
did.
herself. She failed herself miserably, because you have these women who happen to be put in a very, look, these positions of power, let's call them what they are. They are very difficult positions. You need to make, in some cases, life or death decisions. And there are lots of women out there who don't have the capacity to make those kinds of decisions because they carry the mindset, the nurturing mindset that women have naturally for homemaking and raising kids and all that, and they take those sensibilities into a combat zone. You,
Exactly. And it's not to say that there's not a place for, those sensibilities and stuff like that, that nurturing nature and everything in places of conflict. But most of those women don't make the logic. They don't have the logic, they just have the emotion. It's far and few between for women that are logical and emotional. There are even times that I get way more emotional than logical. Can attest to that. But for the most part, it's,
Very
if you're
emotional creature.
if you're using logic for these things, you can be logically nurturing.
yeah, but being nurturing is not a bad thing.
No.
But being nurturing in the wrong space is a bad thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Now
And
the
whenever you have these conversations, especially in places where people don't vote the way we do, as soon as the words leave your lips, okay, they just attack and start calling you all kinds of names. But the thing is, the nurturing, okay, it's just like being a parent, okay. The nurturing part of parenthood the nurturing part belongs in the home. All right, that's where the women shine, the mothers shine. The men are built to fight out there in the war zones.
Their structure, their discipline, their things like
Yeah,
that. Women are that nurture, that caring, that saying, it's okay, I'm going to patch you up when you get a boo boo.
yeah.
Okay.
But the
And there's
men
nothing
bringing
wrong
that
with
to
it.
the house, yeah, but the men bringing the warrior to the house
It's,
kind of
and
is a problem, you know?
well, and see, and that's another role that women play is we're the safe place
Yes.
for those warriors to come where they can stop being that for a little while, where we can help them decompress and things like that. That is part of the role. We can be strong in those areas where men can't be. And men are strong in those areas where women really, I mean, they can't be. They can attempt it and some of them can succeed, but for the most part, that's not our role. So that's kind of that thing of, we're there to soften the edges.
Yeah. All right. I'm trying to
now,
find the video
all right. Well,
of
while you do
the.
that, I'm gonna the one example I like to use, right? So my YouTube channel, Hickox Family Gaming, right? My wife was actually the one that got me to start in it. She was the one that got me into gaming. Um, the only reason I bring this up is because one of the games that she got me into was a online 24/7 gameplay game where if you didn't have somebody on watching your stuff, you would come back with nothing. So me and my wife, we played for a while. We actually rose up through the ranks and was able to get into 100+ member tribe. And we had our parts to play. Whereas our groups would be attacking the enemy. My wife was literally sitting at the back. You need a re-kit? Here you go. You need healing? Here you go. And whenever she's got nothing to do, she's in and out of the fight. She tags and runs, tags and runs. Whereas my position was I was going behind the enemy and setting up traps for whenever they decided to flee. We worked as a team. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And we see all too often that there are women that want to jump into these men role where they don't fit. Yeah, they could be there as a support. We're supposed to support each other, right?
Yeah.
But they're trying to be something that they're not. And they don't know how to
They
work
fail
that
to balance.
position. Yes.
Yeah, they fail to balance those things because I work in EMS that is a heavily dominated male field. So like I'll show up on a scene and I'll have like 3 or 4 firefighters come over. Oh, here, let me help you lift this. Let me help you do that. Okay, I don't need you to do that. I can do my job. There's a certain level of understanding the balance between knowing what you can and can't do, because there are times where I look at them and go, yeah, no, I'm gonna play the little girl role right now and be like, I don't want to lift that 500-pound person. Okay, so I'm totally gonna let the guys go over there and do that. You know. So, but yeah,
So-
they don't understand how to balance the roles.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like this story, because I found the video. So it's like this story of okay, let's just play the video and then we just talk over the video.
He says Jennifer Lackard went from Mount Vernon Public Safety to getaway driver.
Police arrested her and her son this morning. They say she drove the car for him after he shot at a rival gang member behind the Bronx Criminal Courthouse last week.
And today, that's where she went before a judge. Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles live there now with the details. Darla.
Mike and Sade, this shooting happened right behind this courthouse in the middle of the day at around noon in the afternoon on June 29th. And prosecutors say that 49-year-old Jennifer Lackard is accused of attempted murder, attempted assault. They say her son came in here for a court appearance, and instead of that, he's accused of a drive-by shooting.
Accused.
And see, and that's where the whole thing is like, before that, she may have been doing a good job. I haven't really looked into like her past and her credentials and things like that she's done. But I mean, if she'd been doing it long enough, she obviously had at least some decency with, capabilities of doing the job. But then she let that empathy, that emotion override things. And I understand as a mom, it's very, very difficult to let your children face consequences for things.
Yeah.
I get that, especially as a mom. As a mom, it's our job to protect them, to shield them and everything like that.
Yeah.
But that's where, again, most women tend to fail. They see that and they're like, oh, they feel so bad for them. And then they start failing because they're leaning too hard towards the empathy, the nurturing, the caring portion of it, when that's not what the role actually required.
Yeah.
Now, former Deputy Commissioner of Public Safety for Mount Vernon Police entering a Bronx criminal courtroom accused of participating in a wild drive-by shooting outside of the very same courthouse.
Yeah, so let's skip over to another woman, because if we do this, we're going to eat up time. There are other stars that we're supposed to be looking at, and the one that takes the cake. Yeah. The world salad chef herself.
I grew up in a middle-class family with private schools and gated communities.
No. My favorite line was, we wash collard greens in the bathtub.
What happened to you? What's wrong with your sink? Why you gonna be washing them in the bathtub? Damn.
I don't know.
She claimed that they washed them in the bathtub because they were cooking for so many people. I think that was the story that she told. So let's listen to Kamala Harris. Like, there's more coming. She's running for president in 2028. So we are going to be seeing a lot of her.
This president is trying to push this SAVE Act, which basically would require that for people to register to vote, you're going to have proof of who you are.
Is that it? This is what, okay, yeah. So President Trump posted a longer video.
Hey everybody, so they're trying to mess with your ability to vote, just to break it all down. You've got the Supreme Court, they just sealed the deal with this case that just came up recently, the Calais decision, which basically took the power out of the Voting Rights Act, which was designed to protect your right to vote. So you got the Supreme Court doing its thing.
She drunk.
Then
Always.
this president is trying to push this SAVE Act, which basically would require that for people to register to vote, you're going to have proof of who you are through a passport, which a lot of Americans don't have, or a birth certificate. Same point, obstacles to make it difficult for you to register to vote.
No, it only makes it difficult if you're incompetent. I have my birth certificate. Yeah, I don't have a passport, but I have everything to prove who I am, including legal name change documents, which they want to say, women won't be able to understand how to do this. And, it won't show their new married last names or whatever. I have all my legal name change documentation, and they want to say the bill doesn't allow supporting documents, but there's actually a subsection that says it allows supporting documentation. So I could hand in my birth certificate that says my maiden name, and then where I got married and legally changed it to my husband's last name.
Godning says, I really thought I was going to be unburdened by what has been in this live stream. No, sorry. No. She's like Jasmine Crockett. I think it's impossible for us to do a live stream like this without talking about Jasmine Crockett. I'm going to look for a video on Jasmine Crockett. Because in my mind, since she wasn't going to be coming back to Congress, I had expunged all memory of her, but I just figured, hey, Jasmine Crockett is, I think she beats Kamala. I think she does.
You said that she's not in Congress. Remember, she's over here in Georgia trying to run for Congress.
Oh, she left Texas where she was roundly defeated.
So now she's going to try and come to the supposed racist South.
Oh, she's going to tell. Oh, no. And she's going to change her accent.
Oh, yeah, just like Kamala.
Yeah, she's going to change her accent. So let's listen to.
I have to say that Kamala's voice change was the worst thing I have ever heard. All right,
Can I find that video? Okay, let's listen to Jasmine.
You need to talk to any and everybody about voting, because as they have the conversation about a monolith, no, we are not a monolith. But certain things apply to all of us. Number one, when they decided to go after quote unquote DEI, Black women, the most educated demographic in this country, somehow ended up the most unemployed out of everyone. Like that is whether you, I'm just saying, there are certain targets that don't miss any of us, no matter who we think we are. And as the next thing that a lot of you will most likely participate in will be the press conference from my big brother, Ben Crump.
I want to apologize to everyone for losing brain cells while listening to this. I'm sorry for putting you through this and putting your brain through this. Okay, so I just have to...
I have definitely something to say about DEI, because...
Yeah, I was about to say, wasn't she also one that kept changing her voice too?
Yeah.
Gotta put on that mask everywhere you go.
Can I just say that all of their Southern accents were absolutely atrocious?
Yeah.
Oh,
as a Southerner, their Southern accents were absolutely atrocious.
Okay, so let's listen. I've got Kamala changing her accent. Oh, this is good. But let's finish with Jasmine Crockett.
To be clear about something, the way that they investigate the travesties that happen to us, that is not something that only certain people endure. We are a monolith when we end up being targeted by law enforcement or when we end up being disrespected as victims.
So when criminals are being pursued by law enforcement, she calls it being targeted. And then she says we because she assumes that the black community is a community of criminals.
And they wonder why, they say the prison systems are full of, black males and everything. They're like, well, that's kind of because they're committing crimes, and not to say that all black men are, going out there committing crimes and there aren't good black people or anything. But there's a lot to do with that in the breakdown of the core family of two-parent households and things like that. And I know this has been said, but as a woman, I can't raise my sons to be good men. I can raise them to be empathetic towards women and things like that because that's what I can teach them. But to be, strong, responsible men, that comes to a male in the household, a strong, good male role model, i.e., in my case, my husband, or my brothers, my father. But most of these ones, they don't have that strong, positive male role model in the household, so they do wind up falling to crime more often. Because what do they have to look up to? Those other gangbangers and thugs.
Yeah.
So it does that. So yeah, that's where they always say that, we're targeting black people or anything like that. It's not the case. We're targeting bad behavior. We can't help it that they're the ones exhibiting it.
We can't help but be parents to those whose parents weren't around.
Well, I tell my kids, this, and, so here's what I tell them. I tell them, well, it's our job to show you how to behave outside. If you don't learn it here, someone is going to teach you how to do it, and you're not going to like it.
You're going to learn the hard way. I'm trying to teach you the easier way.
I said your mom and I are the good guys. Like this is the easiest you're going to get it. If you don't learn this lesson now and you go out there and you act the fool, somebody is going to teach you the lesson, and it's not going to be pretty.
That's like us. We caught our 10-year-old. He's 10 now, but he wasn't that old at the time. But we caught him stealing from the store. Okay, he's a little kid. He pocketed candy. We had to correct that quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah.
And, he got in deep trouble for that. Groundings, standing in corners, things like that. He got in big trouble for that because when you become an adult, stealing is not just you got a pop on the hand. Stealing becomes a whole different ball game. And we've explained to our kids, I was like, the rules in our house are setting you up to understand the rules of the world, which are the laws.
Yeah.
So you may not agree with all the laws, but exactly, it's respect for that.
Yeah, and this is a nice leaning into leadership, Democrat leadership versus Republican leadership. Democrat leadership are like those parents who see
They're
their
the
kids.
gentle parents, the gentle parenting. They're the ones that are like, oh, we have to get down on their level and go, oh, no, baby, you don't slap mommy in the face when she tells you no. Okay, no,
I
see.
actually have a story about that. Whenever I was, before me and my wife ever met, whenever I started working out of the prison, usually I'd never go out in public in my uniform, right? Well, one day I'd getting off work, I needed to stop by the store. So I went up to the Walmart and was on the frozen aisle. I still remember this. And I can't tell you what I was going after to get, but there was a mother and her teenage son looking at something on the opposite side of the aisle. And I heard this boy call his mama a B.
What?
I immediately turned around and I smacked him as hard as I could on the back of the head. And then I realized, oh crap, that's not my kid and I'm in uniform.
I've done the same thing.
His mama literally looked at me, then looked at him and said, see, even the police think you need to stop acting like that. And I quickly was like, I apologize, and scurried on out of there. Like I know what I did was just wrong in the eyes of anybody else.
No.
But yeah.
See, and I've done that too, and that's where it comes with the village.
Yeah.
This little I think he was 7 or 8, was sitting there screaming at his mama, calling all kinds of names. I was like, first of all, I'd have been reset into Tuesday with how hard my mama hit me on that. Okay. Last Tuesday would have been where I woke up. But I turned around and I looked at him and go, "Excuse me, who the heck do you think you're talking to?" And then I was like, "Oh, not my kid, my bad." And I just had to walk away because I was like, "My bad. That correction came out a little faster. That's not my
Yeah,
kid."
no, I've been in public and maybe my kid is playing with another kid and they're like acting out. And then I'm like, "Hey, both of you." And then I pause. I'm like, "Okay,
Mine, get over here, you.
My child.
the one that's mine that I can spank, yeah, you, all right,
Yeah.
kid, so yeah, I get that exactly. Okay, let's keep going now. Do you guys have? You said you had some videos lined up, to play of people that we wanted to essentially rag on. So I'm going to play this.
I didn't have any videos I wanted to rag on. I was actually looking for some that we could actually portray as the good side.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, so you do that. I'm going to do this, and then Kamala Harris putting on an accent. I'm going to do this, and then by then you should have... the
only problem is I couldn't find any. All I could find was their names.
Well, you can at least find like a list with their some with their Tulsi Gabbard, but like some of the other people, because I was talking, like I had said earlier, that it's not just women in political power, but there are plenty of women that lead other industries and different things like that show good leadership.
Yeah.
So I mean, even if it is just a name with like a list of like certain accomplishments or what they do, I still think that would be something we could at least talk about.
All right.
And there is no investigation. So understand there is a baseline, no matter who you are as a black person, that we all end up in the same boat.
Her little mic drop moment.
Let me take a moment now and thank the Congresswoman for jump on me if she missed this plane.
Oh man. And here's something else that I noticed, and some people aren't going to like it. Most of these women have been propped up by men, by weak men. They've been propped up by weak men. And
I can almost guarantee you that most of those men were overly coddled and raised by women. Because like I said, I can't raise a strong man. As a woman, it's just not saying that it's an impossible thing, but it's very, very difficult. And usually there's a positive male role model involved. So you get those little simps as, propping up those women that they think are strong.
Oh man. Oh well, let's watch Kamala. We might as well. All right. So here she is, giving us her newly discovered accent.
Hello to all my divine nine brothers and sisters, and my sorors. And to all my HBCU brothers and sisters.
Oh well, she's going to be running in 2028. Amazing, great content for YouTube.
More content.
I don't know why, but all I could think of right now is I need one of them old-fashioned red dodgeballs, just so I can hear the ding off of her. All right, ding.
Oh, that twang.
Yes. I don't ask me why, but that's the first thing that I want to do whenever I heard brothers and sisters.
Yeah. And guess who's going to be voting for her? They are.
Yeah.
Crazy liberal white women.
They're going to be voting
with that nose ring right there.
Oh man. Look, I see young women and they're pretty. And then they go and mess it up with a septum ring. I'm like,
oh yeah, and then they dye their hair like pinks and purples and blues and crap.
I'm struggling. Like, do I walk up to this person to say, you look prettier without the rings?
Am I the only person that wants to walk up with a leash and clip it to it?
Well, no, you're not.
I mean, that's what crosses through my head. I was like, I just want to clip a leash to it and just like lead them back
But
away from insanity.
that's what septum rings are for cows. For
cows and pigs to stop pigs from rooting and stuff like that. It was to
Yeah, I kid
discourage
you
bad
not. That's
behavior.
exactly what that's for down here in the South. Well, actually, anywhere that's farmland, that's what that's used for. It's meant to lead and keep them away from stuff that they're not supposed to be near.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the good guys. All right, let's get to the good guys. Let's get to the good guys. All the good guys. Okay,
I don't know how
the
well
palate
this is,
cleanser. So
yeah,
let's
I don't know how
cleanse
well
the
this is
palate.
going to be because the first search it had Nancy Pelosi on it.
Ew. That's
Yeah.
not good at all. Okay.
No.
Why?
We're not
I
talking about the
don't.
Crypt Keeper.
Let's see. What does it say? One of the most influential legislative leaders in U.S. history.
I thought we
And
were
how
looking
not to
for.
do it?
I thought we were looking for the good guys.
Yeah, right. So I actually had to put in here more recent because it was. If I actually go up here to the top, let's see. Janet Rankin, first woman elected to the U.S. Congress in 1916. She fought for women's rights to vote in Washington and Montana. Shirley Chisholm, first black lady elected to Congress, 1968. Served 7 terms in the House, championed civil rights. Let's see, Sandra Day O'Connor, first woman in the U.S. Supreme Court, 1981. Susie Wiles, first woman to serve as White House Chief of Staff.
There's Ruth Porritt, Chris.
Huh? I'm going off of the list right here what I've got, and then I got some other names down at the bottom, but it doesn't have like this part doesn't have all of their stuff. It just has like one thing about them. May Ella Nolan, first widow to serve in Congress. There's a first for that. Okay.
So, like I said, I got Ruth Porritt pulled up here, and a British American business executive who leads Google, who's a chief investment officer for Google. Also worked for the U.S. Treasury and did all of that. She's still chief financial officer for Morgan Stanley, 12th most powerful woman in the world by Forbes. So, I mean, you've got plenty of women out there that can lead, that actually do something good.
The only problem is whenever it gets listed off, whenever I was doing my earlier searches, I kid you not, that whenever I was looking for women in leadership that was built on merit, I was finding again Nancy Pelosi,
So
Hillary
that just
Clinton.
shows you. That shows you how much they pay to cover those things.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, Michelle Obama, and Oprah Winfrey. Did I say Oprah Winfrey first?
So those are the names that floated to the top.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really all about the media pushing these names forward. I think we talked about it this afternoon while we were going over the story about the Spanish invader or the Moroccan invader. And I asked the question about how the media portrays people, like in politics. It essentially is that pipeline that the Democrat Party or the left uses to sanitize people and present them to the public like, hey, these are the people you should choose. If you don't choose them, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, and we totally forget about people like, Eleanor Roosevelt, chaired the UN for the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Like people like that, Jackie Kennedy, who helped continue leading the nation after she watched her husband's head be blown off in an assassination. They essentially, I guess in a way, like, as you want to say it, like whitewash and ignore those people because they're not checking those little boxes that we want.
Yeah, because even whenever up again saying that the media put it to the top, what was her name? Sheinbaum, the president of Mexico.
Yeah.
She got put on that list.
Oh, come on.
I'm not even kidding you. Even with all the reports that she's working with the cartel down there, she got put on the list, and I'm like, what are y'all doing?
Okay, I'm gonna break out what I said months ago. I stopped saying it, because I was trying to be nice, but I'm gonna start saying it again. The mainstream media is evil.
They are.
Right? The mainstream media is pure evil. I'm sorry, it sounds like I'm being harsh, but it's true. Because look at the thing. Okay, so this afternoon, I was listening to an interview, a podcast that was interviewing one of the officers who were part of the George Floyd arrest, and he's Asian. He's of Asian descent, and he's a person of faith. And he described how they were railroaded during the case, the court case. He said that he and his colleagues were asking for the body cam, the body cam footage of that encounter to be released. They refused to release it.
Yeah.
Because they wanted that narrative to go forward. That narrative had to go out there, and every single one of them had to be put in jail.
Yeah, because it doesn't fit the narrative. It's the same thing, all mainstream media pushes their own narrative. Whether it's Democratic, Republican, conservative, liberal, whatever you want. We don't have the Walter Cronkites anymore that literally just read the facts and let people form their own ideas. That day is gone. It's basically you're picking what you want to watch, and they're going to push the narrative that they want. So, I mean, you had some that were covering it with facts, some that were covering it with the emotions, because let's face it, if we play on people's emotions, they're easier to control.
Yep.
Well, also, here's another fact that I wanted to put in there. If you actually look at each one of these women that we've had in power, right? And I'm going to put this out there, it's mostly been on the Democratic side for the United States, liberal everywhere else, right?
Yeah.
Look at the background of these women, and you'll realize that they don't have the qualifications to actually run for whatever they are in. If we look at Kamala Harris, right? She was a lawyer in California, right?
Yep.
And incarcerated more black men wrongfully than anybody else.
That part. But what I'm trying to get at is whenever they went to put her up for the presidential election, right? If you actually look at it, the party is supposed to vote on who is going to be running, right? Kamala wasn't even on that list. The Democrats they held a vote, but the vote was just for show. Kamala wasn't even there, and she was the one that was put there. She was no longer a person with her own ideals. She was
the mouthpiece.
Yeah, well, more of a figure, a statuette to sit there and look pretty while we run everything from behind.
She checked the boxes they wanted. She could play the, I came from the poor middle class. I'm a woman of color. First, she was Indian, like Native American Indian, and then she's black all of a sudden, and you're like, what? Pick race, okay?
Yeah, she's not even black.
Look, I guess that they're the transracials. You got your transgender, so they're just transracial. So, like, I identify as a black woman, so I guess that means I need to get all the privileges that come with that. Like she just checked the boxes is all it was. She checked the boxes, and they could make her say what they wanted her to.
Yeah, and it's the exact same thing that's been going on. I mean, if you look at the other ones, what was she? Which one was it? AOC? Wasn't she the bartender?
Oh yeah, AOC. Yeah.
AOC, a bartender, right? I actually had to put this through an analysis check, right? A hypothetical situation to see what an outcome will be. I actually asked AI if a person is working at a bartender and then somehow within a few years became a member of Congress, but nobody could verify how she got there through merit, what would be the outcome? And it says she's not there on merit. She was placed there as a strategic battle piece.
Yeah. We're going to prop up these poor examples, and that's where it comes in with like the women in power and stuff like that. They're not picking these good women like you've got like your Tulsi Gabbards, that decorated war, veteran and things like that. They're not picking people like that that actually have intelligence and true merit to put into these roles, because those people, those women are not easily controlled. So we're going to pick the stupid ones, the ones that are just the pretty faces, and we can throw money at them and put them in fancy clothes and say, oh, you've done this, this, and this, so this is what you're going to say. And they're going to go, okay, because that's what they want.
And then you got what was it? Wait, no. Ilhan Omar, right?
AOC
Immigrant
just needs to be
status, right?
sterilized.
Yeah, well,
well, she's freezing her eggs because she what?
I saw that. It was the cringiest video I saw. All right, I saw that earlier today. Whenever I was going through, I think that might have been the reason why I got my migraine. But yeah,
I saw that today too. Oh, hang on, where's that?
Can something just go wrong and she becomes sterile, and like all of the eggs like disappear? Because we don't need more of that.
Well, I mean, there's a chance it could be with her brother.
So let's see. According to AOC, the world is going to end in 2031. If she runs in 2028 and wins, she.
Was it Ilhan or was it AOC that did that?
That did what?
I think it was AOC that froze her eggs. Yeah,
it's on the screen. It's right here.
Yeah, we was talking about Ilhan, so I was like, I got mixed up there for a second.
Hang on, what the hell is that? It?
Yeah. What? That's whenever she was taking her shot.
So why?
You have to take different medications to help with your eggs production before you could freeze them.
Yeah, you have to take a crap ton of like estrogen shots and stuff, because you have to like mass produce your eggs, so that way they can harvest them and freeze them. And it's painful as hell. It throws all of your systems into whack and everything like that, and it's awful.
Okay, let me.
Question real quick. Why is our congresswoman putting this out there?
She's trying to be relatable, like she's
championing the IVFs and things like that. Yeah, that she's relatable to the everyday struggles, except for the fact that crap's expensive as hell.
Well, no, here's the thing, right? They were just talking about birthright citizenship, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't say that it has to come out of you, but if it's got the DNA of a United States citizen, somebody could easily go and take her eggs, pop them in, and be like, "Hey, yeah, we've got an American baby from a congresswoman." And I kid you not, I've actually seen videos where women's eggs have been stolen. Right? I've seen and this is really gonna be weird, sperm get stolen. So yeah, it wouldn't shock me.
Like I'm
and
trying to.
Oh,
Look at that.
if you think the world's going to end, why are you freezing eggs? I mean, I'm just saying,
Exactly.
like, if you think the world's going to end in 2031, which let's face it, if you're anywhere close to our age, we've lived through like, the Y2K disaster where apparently the world was going to end in the world in 2000, 2019 or whatever. Like we've lived through how many world-ending events that were supposed to just end everything, 2012 and
Maybe
all that nonsense.
Wait a
five
minute.
or
Wait a minute.
8.
I actually have an answer for that. Remember the sheep?
What sheep?
The clone. We cloned a
Yeah.
sheep
Yeah.
Mhm.
using the embryo of its mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The egg is the embryo.
Ew, are we going to clone AOC? Can we not?
Hang on. She's worried about the world ending, but freezing her eggs. Why would you freeze your eggs? So that way somebody could clone you.
Well, maybe if we clone her, we can raise her right. Okay.
Look, it's
I love doing that. Ugh.
It's leftist logic, okay? Al Gore tells us that by 2024 that the world that half the world will be underwater, yet he's buying beachfront property. I think he has like 3. Same for Bill Gates. They tell us that that the ice caps are melting, that the beaches are going to flood and so on, and yet they're buying up real estate on the beach.
If
they think it's all going to flood, why don't they? If they think it's going to flood, why don't they buy stuff in like Arizona and stuff so that way when it floods, they have beachfront property?
Because they know it's a lie.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna say, what was his name? Mark Zuckerberg. He built a whole underground compound in Maui.
Oh yeah, to survive like a nuclear fallout.
Lynn says maybe her becoming president in 2028 is supposed to stop the end of the world.
Maybe that's what starts the end of the world.
I was about to say she's possibly the key.
And I hate to say this because again, being a woman, I know women would come at me like hardcore, especially. I don't really think that we should have a woman president because a lot of like, especially mainly for like the United States, that's a big powerhouse. A lot of the other political leaders are not going to take a woman seriously. It's going to cause a lot of backlash. It's going to cause a lot of strife and everything like that. And we're going to be thrown into wars because they're going to look and go, oh, there's a woman leading now. We can easily take them down. We're going to go hurt her feelings, basically. And so I don't think that there should ever be a woman president of the United States. Not to say that other countries or anything like that can't do it, but for any of the world powers, Russia, China, the United States, I don't think there should be women leading those ones because I will 100% say that women are crazy, and any woman that doesn't agree with that is probably one of the crazier ones. We understand we're kind of crazy.
And I don't know about y'all, but
agrees.
the females in the Democratic Party,
Lynn says
they
we're
are
too emotional.
really animated. You ever see them go off the wire? They I'm like, all right, anybody got the tranquilizer? We need to chill this one out. Jeez.
Yeah, just walk up to the woman and say, calm down, because that always works, right?
Says just look at the Supreme Court with the women. There was this just hold on, Justice not Rob, is it Roberts?
Mayor.
Which one is the black one?
I actually just looked it up.
Clarence. Okay. There's this video of his from years ago while he was being confirmed. And I want to play it because he said something he said something during that hearing, because that was just fresh off the videos that made the rounds where Amy Coney Barrett essentially said that she was threatened. It seemed like she was signaling that was why she voted the way she did. And this video made the rounds. Hold on. It's like it was the biggest justice. Oh, geez, Clarence.
Like Lynn said, it comes to emotions. That's when they vote for it, because they vote on emotions, not facts. That's where I was saying. I was like, it needs to be run with facts, not feelings. I mean, just honestly.
Yeah. So whenever you have, if I can't find it, I'm going to stop doing this. Stop doing this. Where it's like, oh, I have this video and I can't find it. I'm going to just look one more time. No. Okay. I'm done. All right. I'm tapped out. I don't want to waste our time. But essentially, he was being grilled, and he says, and they asked him, is there anything that could happen right now that could make you drop out of this hearing? He says, no, I'd rather die than drop out. It was like, okay, that's intense. He was like, if you had 5 of him, okay, on the conservative side, if you had 5 of him, we'll just be knocking out all of these rulings that make sense, that are common sense, rulings. It's irrespective of all the death threats, because we know that there are death threats. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I'm going to. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. Sorry, I took your time there, but I felt I could find it. Oh yeah, there's this mayor. Hey, a little known mayor in Florida, Tampa Mayor Jane Castro warns Florida residents against voting to decrease their property taxes. She says, yeah. You heard me right. She says, vote no because the government needs that money.
Hang on. This is exactly what I was just talking about the other day. How we, the people, could lower our own property taxes. Holy crap.
Yeah, so let's just have a listen to this insanity. Oops. Oh, I just closed it.
The amount of money that we bring in from property tax does not even cover fire and police. So when you talk about getting your roads repaved, you talk about facilities, you talk about parks and recreation. We have 200 parks and recreation, maintenance for that. All of that comes out of the general fund and other funding sources. But our property tax isn't even enough to pay for fire and police. So
wait a minute. It's not even enough to pay for fire or roads. So lowering it's not really going to do change much now, is it?
It isn't.
And where's all their other money? Where's all their other funding? Because it doesn't just come from property tax.
Exactly. There's value added tax. There's all sorts of taxes that are hidden fees inside of goods and services.
The funding they get from the federal government for all of these things. That is just poorly managed funds. That's people pocketing and lining their own pockets instead of actually paying for what they need to pay for.
It's also called bloat. There's people who work in the government who are just redundant staff. They don't do anything. They just show up and they don't do anything. And they're overpaid.
Yeah, or you've got these, police chiefs that are making, 6 figures. I'm sorry, you're a public servant. There's no reason you should be making $300,000 a year. You're a public servant. You're meant to serve. Or you've got all these Congress and things like that the senators, the state senators, all the state employees like that are making way too much. You're like, no, you're a public servant. You should be serving the public, not draining all of their funds. Maybe if we cut their pay then we could afford to fix roads and pay for schools and things like that.
Lynn says there have been times after storms where the government says they will fix it by 6 months, and people from towns and cities cleaned it up in a day or two, because government is not efficient. It's designed to not be efficient.
Yeah, there was a guy, I can't remember, it was like Colorado or Oregon or something like that, someplace where marijuana was legal. And he went out, there was these potholes on their roads that were just destroying people's vehicles. And he went out and he was filling the potholes himself. And he had a little sign. He goes, if they appreciated it, they could pay him, snacks, food, weed. And people were handing him like joints and, snacks and, dropping him some money and stuff like that to pay for the supplies. The city fined him and arrested him because he was fixing the roads.
Because he's showing them up. He's exposing how inefficient government is. He's showing how corrupt government is. Just like she said, just like Lynn said, the government tells you it won't be done till the next 6 months, and then the private sector or volunteers show up and get it done in days.
Well, that's around here. So one time whenever I was doing landscaping, I was at a gas station filling up. A log truck, 18-wheeler, was coming around a curve too fast and actually flipped his truck. And the guy that I was working with was he was a Mexican, and he says, Chris, look. So I immediately hand him off the nozzle, and I run out there. You've got 20, 30 people hauling tail towards the road, right?
Yeah.
So one of them was a nurse, so she went straight to the driver. Well, me and the other guys, we're focusing on the logs because the logs have now covered several lanes of traffic. So we start hollering out, a guy in a pickup truck sitting right there. Hey, I've got a chain in my truck. Can your truck pull this tree? Yeah. All right. Hooked him up, pulled it out of the way. Whenever the hurricanes and stuff hit around here, you've got people that ride around in their pickup trucks, in ATVs, the buggies, right? They'll have their chainsaws on them. They'll have a can of gasoline.
Oh yeah,
they're going out there cleaning out the road.
In the hurricane, right after Hurricane Helene hit here in Georgia and stuff, we were without power for like almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And a lot of areas were just trashed. And there were plenty of us, like people, us, my husband and I, we were helping direct traffic when emergency vehicles were trying to get through. They had plenty of people that were going out with chainsaws and their own stuff, cutting down limbs, clearing roads and stuff like that, just so that way people could get back to and from and everything like that. So, I mean, like the people themselves were out there fixing all of this. You had tree services, like local tree companies that were donating their time going out without any kind of funding to cut and clear trees and everything like that, while the government's over there arguing because, FEMA can't afford this, but we'll give you like $200. What the hell's $200 going to do me? I need a whole new roof. That's 16 grand.
20.
That's going to help me with crap. Yeah, I know it came out to about 20 for a roof. That's beside the point. But I'm just saying, like, it's, here's your, $200, $300, $700. I think it was like the most was like $750. Cool. I just lost over $2,500 in groceries. I need a new roof. And, our roads are completely trashed. Oh, and they've decided to hike the gas prices up to like $5 a gallon. And there's
Actually,
like
what
one
we got
gas
from
station.
FEMA was only $200. We couldn't get any more than that because we had homeowners insurance.
Yeah.
So,
but we still have a deductible, So yeah, it's the regular people they come through to fix things way before the government ever does. That's why they don't need more funding.
And with this last fire, if you saw it, Brantley County, or what was it? Was it Brantley?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Brantley. All right, so that's literally one county over from where we are. When we woke up in the morning, instead of nice looking fog, we had dirty looking smoke, right? We had average people, guys, again, we're out here in the country, right? They had massive water trucks. They had went and filled up on their dime and rode it out there just so they could fill up fire trucks to be able to fight the blaze.
And
FEMA shows up. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, because I know this personally, because I know the people that were involved with this. Okay. So they put a female in charge of this as the EMA director over this whole incident. She could not run crap. She had actually been fired from several positions, but because she was, being enriched by someone in power, she got put in charge. Meanwhile, one of the guys, he's actually one of my bosses, was
Hang
out there.
on, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did you say enriched?
Yeah.
Did you say enriched?
Yeah.
Okay, I just created a monster. Like, I was like, wait a second, hang on. Guys, if you're just joining, to get the lore of the word enrich, you're going to have to start at the beginning of this live stream. I was like, does she mean DEI? I was like, oh, come on. Oh, jeez.
Yes. Yes. Meanwhile, the guy that was he's actually my boss. He's one of my bosses for the EMS service.
Yeah.
And he knows how to do his job. He was out there running everything, and he was calling for where's the trucks so they could stop the fire from jumping the fire break they had made.
Yeah.
The FEMA and this woman decided that they were telling these trucks to stay put, that they couldn't leave this one zone that was already fully contained. They wouldn't allow them to leave, and yeah, I know, it was the fire trucks. They told him, he told them, he goes, I don't give an F what the heck they told you to do. Get over here now. Because the guys were like, we want to come. They're not letting us. It was some good old boys that removed the people in the blockades from those fire trucks' path so those fire trucks could get over there. They were sending the people that had filled up their own water trucks to keep the fire trucks full, sending them home because, they're private citizens. They can't help with this.
Wow.
And it wound up that the fire went from at one point being 40% contained. Because of the way they were managing it, it went from being 40% contained back down to 3%.
It actually hit
because
0
they were
at one
mismanaging. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it literally went from, I think, what was it? It was 300 acres to, what was it, 3,000 overnight after she took over?
Yeah, overnight. It went from 500 acres to thousands.
Oh, jeez.
And
how
again,
is it that these people don't go to jail?
Because again, they have the proper enrichment.
You did it.
It's my fault. It's my fault. I didn't know what I was creating, but I created. I'm gonna make a T-shirt.
Cultural enrichment.
I'm gonna own this. Jeez. This is good. But to tell the truth, it's kind of catchy. Okay, it's catchy. Okay, so Kamala Harris was enriched into becoming the DA of Los Angeles.
Yeah, there was actually some speculations about that.
Oh no! It wasn't a speculation. Everyone knew. Everyone and their mama. Everyone and their mama knew that the enrichment was strong. Okay.
Oh yeah.
The enrichment was strong.
Yeah, because that lady over the fire in Brantley, because she was being enriched, she took it from something that could have been contained at maybe a couple of thousand acres to by the time they fully contained it and got it out, 22,419 acres.
Oh yeah, it did reach that much, didn't it?
Yeah, it was actually jumping into other counties. There were entire towns that were destroyed.
Oh man.
So, and again, because they put some stupid woman in charge that had no idea what she was doing, and they had a perfectly good dude that could have done it, my boss. And guess what? He still checks DEI boxes because he's gay. Like, openly gay. That's a freaking DEI box right there.
Oh no, the person who was doing the enriching doesn't enrich gay people.
Yeah. He wasn't, you know, he didn't want to play with the hoses. He didn't want to play with the hoses.
No, he was.
Yeah. So you had incidences like that.
This is Sunday. This is Sunday. Oh no.
Hey. Sunday is full of enrichment, ain't it?
We're enriching the mind.
Oh my goodness. Empires have fallen because of this kind of crap.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, just to add in, and remember, whenever the tax comes around, because of this stupid woman for Florida, right? This happens everywhere.
Yeah.
Whenever you get that little piece of paper in and it says you can appeal within like 30 or 45 days, do it. I'm going to not say the word, but this woman is the reason why we need to do this, because otherwise they're going to keep our property taxes high and keep the housing inflation even higher so they can keep getting paid. But we have a way of being able to lower it down.
Oh, and then they can kick you out of your houses like Mondani wants, kick you out of your houses and give it to the migrants for free.
Jeez.
Because, that's what Mondani's trying to do with those, apartment complexes and stuff. The city's supposed to seize them. And then what do you think they're going to do with it? Fill it with all their voters.
This is crazy. This is crazy. Guys, we're close to almost falling into the trap of going on to a 2-hour live stream, but I want us to keep it short and sweet. I'm tempted to keep going because I had Amy Klobuchar up here and I'm like, do I want to listen to her? But she didn't say much, okay? She's grifting over the border and got booed. Is a 14-second clip, but why are we surrounded by so many incompetent women? They're good looking, okay? They're good looking. They're of course, to be a politician and to get votes, you have to be good looking.
They have to be the arm candy. They have to be that, because let's face it, what's going to distract a dude? Pretty faces and round bottoms and, ample chests and things like that. What's going to distract them?
Yeah.
So that way you're staring at, her assets, thinking about enrichment, and you're not paying attention to how, she's going to actually run everything.
Oh, man. All right. The chat has been well, we've had Lynn letting us know what she thinks, and we've invited you guys in the chat to at least do a call in, and maybe if you got some stories, you can jump in and tell some of the stories, but we don't want to just stretch this out too long. Thanks for hanging out with us. We would love to go on and on and on, but let's just keep it short and sweet. Tomorrow, I think for this week, for certain personal reasons, my daughter has day camp and is going to be bleeding into the 3 p.m. Eastern time that I'm supposed to be going live. We're going to have to be moving the live streams for this week to 9 p.m. Eastern. So that's going to be our slot for the entire week. Let's see how it goes, okay? It's all about being a parent. It's all about raising the next generation. What we talk about here is essentially, are you serious? I'm sorry. I got a message on the Discord from Hickox, and I'm like,
I just
crazy.
saw that and figured you might want to take a look at that one.
I'm gonna take a look at that. I'm gonna take a look at that. But we're gonna be back again tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna just cover a few developing stories. Now we're gonna take a couple of minutes to wrap this up. I wanted to kind of put on the brakes because we were going hard into some very, very interesting arenas about women taking up projects they're underqualified to take up and literally destroying towns. Mm-hmm. Literally destroying towns. Kamala Harris was about to be the president. Everyone said that she deserved to be the president. The Breakfast Club said that anyone who didn't vote for her was racist. The View said that she failed because of misogyny.
Yeah. And, uneducated white women.
That uneducated white women were the reason why she failed.
Because they were banking on those crazy liberal white women that have that suicidal empathy and, that white shame that they have to vote for the black woman. My husband makes all my decisions for me. That's what they say anyway.
I haven't seen this video, but maybe we'll wrap up with this video. It might be a hard left. I've been saving this video for some days now, and it's connected somehow to immigration and so on. But let's listen to this because I know it ties into the entire worldview of women being in places of leadership, because this whole conversation on empathy, it's not coming from the men. It's not coming from the guys. The guys never had any thought about empathy. We don't bother about empathy when we want to get the job done. We want the job done. If you want to be coddled, go to mommy. We're here to work. All right, we're here to work. Okay, so if you want to be a mama's boy, go home. All right, that's the way we do things. And I think it's time to bring back that attitude, because
let men be men and let women be women.
Exactly. There's
nothing wrong with that. And like I say, I am strong in ways that my husband could never be.
Yeah.
And that is my pride as a woman. I can do things that men could absolutely never do. Okay. Men can't have babies. They can't bring life into this world. They can't nurse them. They can't do those things. Men can be the protectors and the providers for that. Let women be women and men be men.
Yeah. Now, while we're playing this, okay, if you're watching and you feel like you don't have anything to contribute to the show, just type in the chat where you're watching from. Okay, just do that. I'd love to see where you're watching from. So let's listen to this video. I don't know what it says. I've been holding this in the chamber for days now, so let's see what it says. Maybe it's a dud, or maybe it lands. Let's see.
The American right now has this phrase, don't they? Suicidal empathy, which is effectively saying we're destroying our own civilization by this desire to care rather than doing what's practical and sensible. Well, the interesting Paul Bloom, brilliant Yale psychologist, wrote this book called Against Empathy. And his point is it evolved for an age where we had no media, okay? And where you were empathetic towards people you could help, okay? We weren't intended to be, in evolutionary terms, empathetic towards people thousands of miles away.
No, we were going to fight them for land.
We were going to take their land.
Treasure and all the rest.
And so I think the amplification of this is problematic, because at some level it's
connections used to be familial and community.
Yes.
And now they're
remote and hypothetical. There's also the single identifiable victim effect, which is it should disturb all of us, okay, that vastly more grief and tears were shed over the death of the Princess of Wales than over the victims of the Boxing Day tsunami, of whom there were, I think, 250,000.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, they're stupid. Honestly,
like the argument is all over the place. It's almost like yes, humans weren't designed to have empathy or to feel sad about people who are thousands of miles away, but to be more connected to those who are close. But they seem to be all over the place. So I'm not sure if they are in favor of having more close-knit relationships with those who are within your community, your immediate community, your family and friends and so on. Or are they saying that there's a problem with simply focusing on those you're close to and who are within your...
I sent you one, and it's talking about suicidal empathy by Prager, PragerU. It's good channel with the way he's talking about and explaining things. I sent it to you in Discord with it. But yeah, it's sitting there talking about like empathy is great when you are doing it for the people close to you, your people in your community and stuff like that. But when it's the only filter for your decision making, replacing any rational thought or anything like that, that's when you start straying off into that suicidal empathy stage.
Where did you send it?
I sent it to the Discord after the clip.
Oh, okay, to the group. Okay, hang on. Clip submission. Yeah. All right, let's.
Because it's even talking about how like Ted Bundy, the serial killer, used empathy to lure his victims in.
Yeah.
So he was literally using that empathy to have people make those decisions for it.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a look at this. Oops, that's not shared yet. There it goes.
I just gotta say, I think something's going on with today because I am finding a lot of stuff that is really weird.
Well, it's like how does the live stream doesn't want to let us go or something. We're trying to let go, it doesn't want to let us go, but let's watch this.
How do civilizations die? The great British historian Arnold Toynbee asked himself this question. Here's his answer. They die not by murder, but by suicide. We in the West, the inheritors of the greatest civilization ever created, are witnessing this right before our very eyes. I call this phenomenon suicidal empathy. As an evolutionary behavioral scientist, I believe empathy is a noble virtue and a central feature of our humanity. The Oxford Dictionary defines empathy as the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. It sounds great, and often is, especially when you're empathetic toward the people close to you, your spouse, your children, your friends. But empathy can lead us astray. When empathy serves as the only filter for decision-making, replacing a rational and adaptive calculus of prudence, discernment, and justice, empathy can cause great harm. In fact, it can be fatal.
Yeah.
The serial killer, Ted Bundy, used empathy to lure women to their violent deaths. He would pretend to be injured, sometimes with a fake sling or cast on his arm. He would ask his soon-to-be victim for help loading items into his car, and then, when they turned their back, he would strike. Bundy killed through kindness, exploiting the natural proclivity to be empathetic. Suicidal empathy endangers not just well-meaning individuals, it threatens entire societies, indeed, all of Western civilization. Let's look at a couple of general and then more specific examples. Mass immigration. In 2015, the Chancellor of Germany, Angela Merkel, instituted an open-door immigration policy, especially for Muslim migrants.
What?
Terrible woman leader right there. See another example.
When she became the Chancellor of Germany, there was this whole, the world woman on the world stage, and they celebrated it, and she essentially destroyed Germany. Okay, she took their nuclear plants offline, and insisted that they had to go back to coal or to gas. What the hell? They were living in a surplus, an energy surplus just 10 years ago. 10, 15 years ago, they were in a surplus. You were rewarded for using more energy. In Germany, you paid less if you used more energy because they had a surplus. Then suddenly she shows up and then says, "Hey, we need to be more empathetic to the climate." Jeez.
Germany, Angela Merkel instituted an open-door immigration policy, especially for Muslim migrants, most of whom had no intention of assimilating into their host societies. Perhaps her suicidal empathy toward migrants was meant as penance for her country's crimes against humanity. But a decade later, Germany, as well as most of Europe, nearly all of whom have followed Merkel's example, is dealing with the consequences. Vastly increased rates of rape, murder, and social disintegration.
I wonder why.
Right.
I wonder why it is that suddenly, after allowing all this to happen, suddenly the crime rate has gone up. It's no longer safe to walk the streets at night. It doesn't mean that these crimes weren't happening, but when it jumps maybe 5,000%.
Even if it just jumped 25%, that's still unacceptable. I mean, you have to kind of look at where it came from. But see, and that's why I kind of liked this, because it's sitting there, it was going through with basically talking about suicidal empathy.
Yeah.
If y'all are talking about that one video I sent you that was talking about Spain, it was discussing what was going on where I told you about the video is AI. Well, this is the actual proof. So
that's the Fox News?
No, the Elon Musk one.
Oh, jeez. Okay. All right, we'll play that. This last
skip over his first part because Elon actually shows it. So.
Okay. I'm gonna.
No, not like that. Not like that.
Okay.
Defund the police. In the wake of the death of drug-addicted felon George Floyd in May 2020, an idea arose, namely that a racist police system was murdering innocent people of color. Though this was easily refuted by the actual data, suicidally empathetic mayors and city councils in places like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Philadelphia cut their police budgets. Who suffered? The very people who were supposed to be protected. Let's look at a few specific cases of suicidal empathy. Canadian-born Omar Khader joined the Taliban and murdered an American soldier in Afghanistan. The US gave him a 40-year sentence, but turned him over to Canadian authorities after 10 years at Guantanamo Bay. Former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government, which suffered from stage 4 suicidal empathy, gave Khader $8 million and apologized for his detention.
What?
The University of Minnesota Twin Cities Medical School required the class of 2026 to pledge their support for diversity, equity, and inclusion, not to mention honoring all indigenous ways of healing that have been historically marginalized by Western medicine.
What?
Because, as they wheel you into the operating room, what you really want to know is that your surgeon, who got there for some reason other than merit, is up on how the local tribes handled medical problems 500 years ago. Under the Biden White House, the Federal Aviation Administration implemented a recruitment program for people with severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities. Imagine how safe you'll feel when...
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, it is ridiculous.
We lived through this. Look, if not for anything, okay, Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly and all of them should have just behaved themselves, remembering the insanity we went through for 4 years. Okay, calling for Trump to be what's that code again? Was it the Fourth Amendment?
Plead the Fifth.
No, not the Fifth. They said that he should be removed for being incapable of. He was mentally unwell. Yeah, incompetent, mentally incompetent. That they should remove him and replace him with JD Vance. And I'm like,
I think that was like the 14th Amendment, if I'm correct.
the 14th, yeah. Like, you guys forgot that we went through 4 years of utter insanity, and you're complaining that Trump is going after people who have been killing American troops for 47 years. Anyway, let's keep going. It's weird just to go back. 25th Amendment gardening. Thank you.
Thank you.
25th.
25th
Article
Amendment.
2, or Article 2 is what they usually call it.
Yeah.
And that woke logic reaches the cockpit. No society can long survive such an explosion of suicidal empathy. Is there a cure? Yes. But first, we must understand where this madness comes from. Suicidal empathy is driven by misplaced guilt. The suicidally empathetic person feels guilty for being born in the prosperous, free West. We might call this privilege guilt, a common affliction among Westerners, especially affluent, highly educated ones. To inoculate yourself against this parasitic idea,
look,
that's why suicidal empathy is very big in colleges.
Well,
and we just covered in the last stream with the DSA one being supported by majority of highly educated college students.
Yeah. Highly educated college students who can't tell you what a woman is. Okay, they can't tell you what a woman is.
They can't explain basic biology.
They can't explain basic biology. They can't engage in deep thought experiments. Like, these are the people who are going to be running things in a few years. Why? Because according to the powers that be, you need a college degree to do anything reasonable with your life. You either need a college degree or you need a lot of money to be able to work in Congress.
Yeah, and it's really stupid.
WNBA was... Sorry, go on.
Oh, I was going to say, I'd rather have, the blue-collar guys and girls that understand how things go, or, the businessman like Trump that understands how to run things. I think I would rather have them telling us how to do stuff than somebody that went for, gender studies. I'm sorry, how complicated is it to understand, boys have twig and berries and girls don't? Like, I'm just saying, I don't think that we need a whole study.
It's complicated. It's complicated. Okay, we wouldn't expect peons like you guys to understand.
I know, because again, I'm the uneducated white woman.
Oh yeah, and I'm the African immigrant who doesn't know anything,
And Hickox, Chris there, Hickox there, he's the white man keeping us both down.
Oh yeah,
keeping us down.
Yeah. He's a toxic white male. He's a toxic white male, and according to Ilhan Omar, he's the most dangerous thing on the planet.
He is.
And she's married to one.
You must take at the very least these 3 actions. First, never shut off your rational mind. Suicidal empathy tries to override your capacity.
Lynn says the WNBA was in a meeting earlier today trying to figure out the definition of woman. Do you know why?
Yeah.
Because those male NBA players.
Yeah.
I identify as a man or as a woman.
Hang on. Okay, there were I saw this evening and I bookmarked it. We're this is rich. Hold on, this isn't
15 minutes from 2 hours.
Oh no, where's this thing? Oh yeah, there it is, right there. Royce White says, "It came, y'all. My first wig. Tomorrow, I test it out. I test it on the court. This is my feminine era glow up. Did I slay? If y'all didn't yas queen, you're transphobic. I really don't understand all the hatred. I just want to play some hoops with my fellow ladies. Look. I'm loving this timeline. Okay, I'm loving this timeline. And look, all of the people who said, "Oh, you shouldn't marginalize anyone who tells you the truth." They're all the ones rushing out now to call this guy hateful. They're calling him hateful for doing this. Oh, he's hateful. Oh man. But this is cool. I like it. He's committed. Oh, this is nice. Oops, sorry. Look at this. Oh, more wigs. Yeah.
So
The
pretty.
WNBA draft.
Hey, maybe then the
Yes.
WNBA would actually get people watching it.
Oh no, like it's the WNBA is getting more interesting now. It's getting really interesting. Okay? since we have diversity and inclusion going. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go back to our other video. This is crazy.
For reason. It hijacks your desire to be kind, misdirects it to the wrong recipient in the wrong amount, and in so doing harms you and others. Second, always ask, what happens next? Cause and effect is an immutable law.
Yeah.
Actions have consequences, sometimes very bad ones. Third, don't be tolerant of all viewpoints. Not everything is as good as everything else. Some ideas are better than others.
Yep.
Some cultures are better than others.
Yes.
Some religions are more peaceful than others.
Yes.
These actions were once the default operating system for nearly everyone born in the West. Now, they are a matter of civilizational survival. The good news is this: suicide is a choice. The West still has time to save itself, but not much. I'm Gad Saad, author of Suicidal Empathy, Dying to Be Kind for Prager University.
So I thought that was a good video to kind of like explain and give examples of how being too empathetic really does destroy things.
It's an amazing video. I had that video lined up days ago, and then I just kind of memory hold it. You know, it's this is where we are right now as people. Okay, where we're now trolling the WNBA with retired basketballers wearing wigs.
Yeah.
This is where the insanity breaks. Okay, whenever their argument makes contact with reality, it just explodes. It has no bearing. They have to silo off their arguments. They have to silo off their entire worldview, and that's why they don't want conversation, because once it makes contact with common sense, it falls apart.
Yeah, once you start asking just a few questions, just a few clarifying questions, it all freaking crumbles. Or, you know, you do like what they're talking about, you know, right there with the trolling of the WNBA. I'm just playing by your rules.
Yeah.
You said a dude can say, I feel like I'm a woman, so that automatically makes him a woman.
Exactly.
So what's wrong with that? He's just playing by your rules.
And now you're having a meltdown.
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, tempting, but let's stop here. We're going to be back tomorrow. And you know what? Let's do more of this, okay? Let's just do more of this. The left has been gracious to us. They've decided that they're going to provide us with copious amounts of content. And
comedy.
And comedy. Like
They're providing us with plenty of enrichment.
Plenty. Okay. You win. You win. Okay. You win. Oh my goodness. Okay, so enrichment is a thing. Okay, so the YouTube algorithm isn't going to it can't touch this, doesn't understand the word we're talking about, which is a good thing. Okay, this is a good thing. Wow. I love hanging out and doing this show. I hope you guys who are watching enjoyed it too. We're trying to get more of you to jump on and engage in the call-in feature. But before the call-in, it's always great to have you guys in the chat. So if you haven't engaged in the chat to, type something in there, just feel free to just leave an emoji or something, kind of helps out. If you're watching for the first time, either during this stream or after the fact, consider subscribing if you haven't. Like the video, share the video, and catch us on the next one. We're going to be back again tomorrow. So guys, tell them where they can find you, because you know what? If they can't find you anywhere, maybe by the end of this week, they should be able to find you guys, because I told you guys before we went live, I've been thinking that both of you should actually think of starting a podcast. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just you guys hanging out, talking about stuff, because you guys, there's something there. I feel it. I think you guys should consider putting something together. Even if it's once a month you do something, but just think about it. So
absolutely. And it would be under Hickok's Family Gaming, under his, or anything like that. Or if we do create one as a co-thing, we'll make sure to drop you in it and, let you know, so that way we can spread the word about it.
Oh, no
I
problem.
think it would be fun.
Once it goes live, we're going to be pushing it here, because guys, I believe in making sure that there's more people who have common sense creating content. We need more people out there, because the trick with AI is that it aggregates all of the content out there, all the conversation out there. And if the left has more conversation than the right, it rules in the AI realm when it comes to the ideas that are forming culture and moving things forward. So I noticed it the day after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. I just did a search on Grok, and it told me that a right-winger, I think someone conservative, murdered Charlie Kirk. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's the squeaky wheel. It's the whole squeaky wheel thing.
Yeah. So the more of us are out there, okay, the better it is for the world. So I'll love to be part of that. I'd love to help you guys spread the word on my little platform. It's still small, still growing, but I would love to help. All right, guys. It's been a great Sunday talking about enrichment and all. And it has. It has. And oh God, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it because it's going to make me feel dirty. So I'm not going to, I was about to say, I was about to say, I hope you've all been enriched. I'm like, no, no.
How dare you?
I was like, I was like, and this is how words get twisted and changed into something else. Okay. I was like, I hope you've been, no, that makes me feel bad, dirty. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. Gardening, you are amazing. Everyone else out there, the lurkers, everyone out there who's made this amazing, and Hickox and Hickox Dragon. Guys, you guys rock. It's fun. It's fun doing this with you. Okay, in the chat, you guys can show them some love. We're all in the Discord. So we join us in the Discord. The link is in the description of this video. We're going to be back again tomorrow. We'll be back at 9 p.m. Eastern. So bye-bye. Good night, and we'll catch you then.
Bye, guys.
Bye.